Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum. Welcome to weekly investing analysis inside Halal portfolio. Let's go and take a look at what just happened in the market, especially with Zcash. It had a major crash due to some of the team members leaving, but we later found out that it was actually the non-profit organization that was handling some of the things that were happening inside Zcash, to say it in simple words. So now the Zcash team is fine. They're pretty handling much everything. So there was a lot of money that was pulled out. So it's quite obvious when they leave, they take out their money as well. But also it made a lot of fear coming into the market, and a lot of people sold as well, which I did give you guys the warning that we might have a pullback back to 455. Then it will dump again, which is quite obvious. If you go and see inside Twitter, actually everybody was like, no, it's so bullish, we're gonna pump, we're gonna go up. But guys, let's be realistic. When a market structure is broken and the sell pressure is a lot, it is not quite easy for something to go back up. And I personally took some losses, which I took from my previous profit, but it's fine since we do proper risk management. I didn't lose much. And also I had to exit because we learned from Luna that if something loses its credibility in the market, it cannot go back up easily, and it might just crash even further. We're going to take a look at that as well. Maybe we will replace Zcash in the future analysis and put something else in instead to analyze for you guys and give my opinion upon. So let's go and take a look at what's happening in the market. Let me share the screen. All right. So we're currently in the Bitcoin chart, and what actually happened was I talked in the previous video as well that Bitcoin was rejected, and it came back to this line of support, which this whole area is a consolidation or area or a base. Why do we call it a base? According to supply and demand, you can see that we had a break of this entire pattern or this consolidation that the price was staying for a while. Then we had this break. Now it is retesting. And what I'm hoping and what I am seeing, and this is the most probable case that Bitcoin will go up from here. But the thing is that we need to consider every single thing, because in higher time frame, this is a major level. And if we lose this red line that we have, which is a support trend line, and it's a uptrend, if we lose this, then probably we're going to see lower levels in Bitcoin. Now, before actually we dive into what is happening and how we can take a trade, I have already given this to you that at 90,000 Bitcoin is buy, and we opted in as well, myself personally at 90,500. So far, it is in a little bit of profit. It had a run toward 92,000, but you can see it's back down, which is quite normal. Nothing has happened yet. Our stop loss is intact. So we're going to first take a look at the entire market. Then we're going to come and see what are these doing. So let's start off with US dollar chart, which now if you see that we had a higher a rally in the US dollar due to a lot of reasons that are currently there for, let's say, the political issues and all of these things, but it really doesn't matter. I did warn you guys that I see US dollar going up a little bit. We had a rejection here, which we were hoping to see this. You can see that after closing above this, the price just kept going up. But does it mean it is bullish, or it means that we will be rejected from here? Let's put this perspective back in the view. Don't tell me I didn't tell you all the scenarios, which I did. You can see that after the close of this, US dollar went up a little bit, but the crypto market is still intact. So now, if we get a rejection from this local resistance that we have, so see the entire picture. It was compressing for quite some time. We had this double top and this trend line is broken. Now it is what? A correction. A correction could have been here, but now it is going to be inshallah here, which still we are in good shape. What will be bad if the market tries to make a structure like this, or if it goes up higher, then it comes back, then make a structure like this, then we will know that we'll have to change our perspective on US dollar. Then it will potentially affect the entire market. We're gonna then change our view there. But so far, it is still on a bear trend or in a downtrend, which we should expect US dollar losing its dominance against all the other currencies. This is actually the main thing here. The other main thing is the USDT chart. So USDT dominance, as I mentioned you in the previous video, we were around here at 6%. I said it is quite possible we get rejected from 6.17. You can see that it is rejected. I clearly remember that this line was in blue. I made it yellow so it can be seen. Now you can see exactly from there we got rejections twice. And both of these candles are weak and they are what? Indecision candles. So as long as we stay below this, we can still expect for USDT to come down. Or if, let's say, if there is a pump and the market tries to go a little bit higher, we are still below this level, which I believe that even if there is a manipulation in the market, we can still expect this to play out. For this, I have more reasons. I'll show you that in Bitcoin chart, which I have previously talked about. We're going to be seeing that in the liquidation heat map as well, that if there is a level that we can expect for USDT to go higher. And now, that being said, let's take a look at Bitcoin dominance. Exactly, it got rejected from this level because it was broken, and it's clearly a broken level. You can see that after this candle it was a breakout. And why is it a breakout? Because this candle is quite significant, and this level now has become the base, which we can expect Bitcoin dominance to keep losing, and we are on the daily chart, so we can expect that. But it will get invalidated and it will get a little bit scary if it closes back above 59. So we should not lose this level, these wicks that you see. And if it does, you know what to do. According to your system and risk management, you're going to have to be either in Bitcoin or take your positions that you have taken for the short term out, because there will be a correction. Then we can reinvest later if we see Bitcoin dominance getting rejected from these 59.60 levels. But for now, it looks like we should go down. Also, from another perspective, if you see this, will it be a V-shaped recovery to go above here? I'm not sure. It can be, but everything should align for this to play out. We're gonna come back to this chart again as well. Let me hide this volume indicator. We don't need it. And I don't know why my things are being unorganized. Anyway, take a look at this total chart. This is looking the same as Bitcoin. So this was broken with a lot of force and volume. If I put back this volume, you can see that it was broken with volume. Right now, there isn't enough volume, but I expect to come back to guys, please have your mics muted. Mics. Okay. So I still expect this to go up. If there is a manipulation, it can take us down to this depth of the same uh, demand zone that we have here. So if there is something as a manipulation, we can expect it to go to 2.9 trillion. For now, I expect this 3 trillion dollar level to hold for the total chart, and this is what I'm expecting. And if it's broken, then we will expect even higher levels. Otherwise, if we come back here, then get rejected, then even this demand is, it might just get broken and fall lower because of the sell pressure back in the market. Total two, same thing. But you see, for total two, there is this level of supply which has turned into a what? Swap zone. If we get enough demand, I'm still expecting this to push, maybe even break this resistance. Otherwise, the same thing could play in this chart, that if it's rejected, then it might just do this and we will come back down to these lower levels. There's a level of demand here as well, which is the main one. But for now, we should see every single level and we should compare it to the total chart as well. I'm going to show you Ethereum because it's backing what I'm saying at the moment. Okay, if we see total three, this one is also the same as total two. We have this base here that we can consider to hold before we see another rejection. So for the short term, there is a possibility of this going up, but if we get rejected, it will fall down. And if we break it, which we have this scenario, it can be here, it can be lower. The main point is that this level should be broken by it closing higher. So we can expect this to actually go further up as well as down, but you know how to play it. Right now, it is at this level of support, which it can go a little bit higher. Then if things go bad next week, then we'll get out. And others dominance, you can see that this chart is actually, if you're a beginner, you should understand that this does not include the top 10 coins in Bitcoin. It will show you the other altcoins, and you can see their strength is also good. And what did I tell you, bro? Exactly here that it should hold. It had a fake out, but it is holding at the moment. It is not a breakout. The breakout would look like this, then we would expect it to fall even further down. But for now, we are in good hands. And if something like this happens, or if something higher like this happens, then we can expect it to push significantly higher. And you can see that the volume is also kicking in into this chart as well. Now, before we go to crypto, let's take a look at what is happening to gold. And you can see for gold, we had some rejection for a while. It's still in this level, which fell down quite significant from here. Two things we can expect still, because nothing has happened yet. We can expect a manipulation higher, which it traps people right above the all-time high, which it did something similar here right after all-time high. It trapped people at this top, and it came back to this level of demand, which it held. What we expected at that time was if it falls and it can make a pattern like this, which that didn't happen. Now, if this is broken significantly and holds this level, we can expect it to go further up, even maybe until $5,000 in gold. We will track it from time to time to see how this is going. And there is enough volume to do that too. But it can change anytime. Everything can be changed anytime. And it also doesn't mean that Bitcoin will not go up. But if Bitcoin goes up and this chart is weak, then Bitcoin will outperform gold, while even gold going up. So what we want at this moment is for gold to get weaker in order for Bitcoin to give us that market structure. You can see that we are still in this level of supply and resistance, which we can expect Bitcoin to outperform gold. Now let's go to Bitcoin chart. I have already given other views on Bitcoin, but for now, we're gonna see what is coming in the upcoming weeks. So this is very important. You can see that exactly at the circle that I made earlier, at depth, you could have bought a lot here and you would have been in profit, but you should do really your risk management. Nothing I say as a financial advice, but this is how I see it for Bitcoin to play out. And my plan is after we get out of this zone, we can expect this entire gap to be filled back to $107,000 levels or 100K, which you can see that there is a level of support that was broken with force. So we cannot just ignore this 100K level at any cost, because now we have a lot of resistances that is before our eyes. Let's see how this will play out. Obviously, Bitcoin, you can take some positions or you can buy for the long term. It is in good shape, but you should have a plan to play out with if things go sideways or if things go back down. If you're considering for long term, but for short term, I don't see a lot of profit in this. I have very small position just for the sake of Bitcoin. I had, by the way, I changed it into Ethereum because I want some gains from Ethereum, which I am already in. I will show you. But then I might just flip Ethereum as well to something else if I see profit in that. So let's take a look at everything. So Ethereum against Bitcoin, you can see that we had this rejection, came back to this level of support, but let's not ignore this. Let's see this as it is. It is a level of demand. And if we put a uptrend here, it is quite holding quite well. Unless it is broken, then we will know that, okay, it's all over. We should get out of Ethereum. We should get out of some other altcoins, especially the Ethereum tokens, because this chart will not perform well and it will keep on dipping, and we might see bigger crashes in the market as well, which you can see it's holding very tightly. The other scenario is that we have a level of support here lower. If we expect that manipulation to happen, expect something like this to happen. Okay, if the plan is to go back up. Otherwise, if you see it doing this, then you should know that no. If we cannot close back above after falling below this blue line, then it will keep on pushing lower. So have this in mind that anything is possible at the situation in the market, but if things are going to go bad and if there's going to be war, I expect the market to go up. I have given a lot of reasons about this previously as well. You can go check out those videos too. And yeah, both charts are saying the same thing and ETH BTC. For me, now, Ethereum itself, you can see that we have this entire demand zone, which we can expect to be filled. But if it does go below, we might just experience something like this to happen, to come back to this level of support. But we don't want any of this to actually happen at this moment, because the market structure might change if we don't have a good bounce back from this support. If we go below and we cannot recover, it can maybe even break this level. So it's really upon you how you want to play. For now, if you have taken an entry on 3,000 level, you should have a stop loss this way. Let me bring this. So here's your entry. Here will be your TP for now. And you will be having 1% stop loss, because if we go lower and take an entry at 2,900 or 2,800, then we can just do it here and have more upside, and put it here and have more upside. But for now, since there is no breakout of this line of resistance, and after this breakout has happened, if you even come and see this at the lower time frame, previously we had a level here, but I did give you this as well. It unfortunately couldn't hold. The stop loss was very less. If you haven't entered, personally, I didn't enter here because I had other positions, especially in Solana. I took profits there. But for this, you can see that I flipped back around 3082 from the Bitcoin position. Now I'm expecting this to go and perform well. If not, then if it closes below these levels, I am not gonna take more than 1% loss, which is nothing. Basically, that's how our stop loss is always in this market. 1%, 2%, 3%. For some high risk tokens, up to 5%. We don't take much more loss than that, because that's the best way to avoid the losses and have a lot of profit into the market. Okay. So this is my view on Ethereum. I would expect it to do something like this, to have a second wave, then we'll have a retest. What is this? How did this come? Crazy. Did I draw this? No. Okay, it's actually on my screen. I think. Okay, now we're good. It was from the Zoom. I don't know from where that came from. Did I do that? No, I didn't. Anyway, okay, so this is what I expect. Let's see what is gonna happen. But if we lose any of these, and if we get a market structure like this, it will probably go even further down, and it will become scary for Ethereum. It will take us to these lower levels, as you can see. But for now, since this trend line is broken and this line of resistance and support is broken, I expect this to give us another big move, inshallah, very, very soon. So it could be on Monday, it could be tomorrow, or it could be just today. We don't actually know that. But most of the time in the weekends, things are very, very slow and sloppy and full of manipulation. So take care of that. And for Solana, that I keep sharing this chart, the reason was that we took quite significant profit from this point to this point, right? Around 15% move, which I personally took 12%. But then I gave you this level around 120, 32, which I didn't take. I was in another trade. But when I shared this on public, you can see that it gave you again another move of 5%, which I did share when it was back and 5%. So you could have taken profit. Now it's still in the same move. Nothing has changed. It can still go and perform well. The reason for that is, take a look at Solana against Bitcoin. I shared this chart as well. Like, what do you think? Was it this or the Ethereum one? Whichever it was, you can see how strong this breakout is against Bitcoin. So Solana will perform, and I have quite a lot of it in two of my portfolio for the short term and for the long term. And Solana against Ethereum, look at this beautiful breakout. If there's a manipulation, and if we see that, you can expect something like this. But otherwise, if it falls below, then you can expect something like this. Then at those points, we're gonna decide what we're going to do. But for now, what I am seeing, even if we put this on line chart, we can see after going on this downtrend for a very long time, we finally have a breakout, and I expect this to go up. Anything could happen. This is my personal view, my personal opinion in this market. I see it this way. That's how I have been profitable. And that's how, if you learn, you can also be profitable. But nothing I say will make you money if you don't do risk management, if you don't have a system of your own. Let's talk about Zcash, and then I will go through your questions. So if you have your mics on, which I heard, please turn it off, bro. Okay. Faisal, bro, please have your mic turned off. I just turned it off myself. And if you have questions, keep it for the end of the video. I will go through all your questions, inshallah. Okay, so let's talk about Zcash. What happened? So I took first a position here, which was the level of support. I wanted to have a little bit of exposure in this market just in case it doesn't come down and bounce. Then later on add into my position, but then it came lower. So I added here. Then when it broke, we were all actually sleeping. And that was unfortunate because I tell everybody not to sleep after Fajr, but that night I had lots of work and there was a lot going on in the family as well. So I had to stay up until Fajr. Then after that, when I slept, I didn't see this. And you can see that there was a significant break. So this has happened in Zcash, and I expected this to move up again to this level. You can see that happened too. I shared this opinion on community signals group with you. So if you were in the trade, you could have exit here, but I personally had to exit around these places in order to avoid further fall into the market. Now, since we are getting a divergence back into the market, there is a possibility that Zcash could start accumulating around these levels and start going back up. So unless I see a good market structure, I will try to avoid it because you can have gains, you can add for the long term here. But personally, I have made a lot of money with Zcash. I don't really care even if I go and invest higher because I have literally taken profits around these areas. So I can invest anywhere else as well, or I can just trade it or maybe accumulate for the long term next time. Doesn't really matter for me as long as the market is there. So this is the view on Zcash. If it does go lower, what you can do is you can buy this level, which will be a significant level of demand. You can expect a good return from here, but then you will have these other challenges which will come in front of you, so you can deal with them as the levels of take profit. So for now, I'll leave Zcash in this situation. I'm not gonna tell you what to do because if you see it against Bitcoin and Ethereum, so far it is not strong, but if it does close above, then I would say we have a chance to go back to these levels. And same against Ethereum, you can see that we have tried breaking this level. It can turn into a fake out, but I will see that and follow according to that. So two things were mentioned in the community. One is Tau and the other one is World Coin. Let's go through those, then I'll go through your questions. Let's see what is happening in Tau. So for Tau, I shared this on the premium that this is the level of demand. So if you would have been there and you would have bought around these levels, anywhere around these levels, you could have taken back the profit to the same place that we took. And I personally took profit at 92 and let the rest of the same, like Solana, I have two portfolios, which in both of them, in one, Solana is the major coin, and the other one is Tau, the major coin. So one I have for the short term, the other for the long term. So I just took profits here, and it's still quite holding very well. And yeah, this level as demand, you should expect this level to hold, and you should not expect it to go lower than this. Why? Because if you see this higher level of 292 to 315, which is extended till here as a resistance. So if this is not taken out, what it will do is it will build sell pressure and it will go down. So keep your eyes in here. Something happens, but for the long term, you can see that actually Tau is in this level of accumulation overall. So what are you scared of? Like, are you here for the short term? Then you have a way to play with. But if you are here for the long term, you can just keep accumulating because the plan is for this to go back to this level, to this level, to this level. These are some major levels that you can take profit when it performs. So if you see, even from this price, if you start dollar cost averaging, you have 89% in front of you. Then you have 162% in front of you. Then you have 337% return on TAO, which is a very good coin, and you can trust it with a little bit of money. But you shouldn't do what I have done, which is my main coins. So it is one of my main coins at the moment and one of the portfolios, and it has second position in the short term. But overall, TAO is one of my main coins that I'm holding in my portfolio, which is the AI narrative, which is the best of the AI at the moment. So you can go and read their white paper and everything if you want. It's really up to you to build more confluence, right? So the next one is WorldCoin. Let's see if I have it in swatch list. Okay, it's here. I have given some views on premium, that premium chat that we share charts only, but I haven't taken this trade. You can go and see if you want, because since you asked me, this is how it is going to be performing. So I have given you these levels long way before. Since I am quite invested, I don't want to have more exposure into the market because it will become easier for me to sell the current coins that I have instead of investing into more. So I'm not going to do that. But if you want, count your risk. It's around 3.7%. But from this line, it was absolutely nothing. You should have invested here and have a 1 or 2% stop loss below this box. Now, this is the play. It is a little bit higher. And this zone will give you 5% stop loss. So it's a bit risky to invest at this point. But overall, you can expect a 3 times return on your investment, like according to your risk, not 3 times of your investment. Sorry, my mistake. So it will give you 15% profit and 5% and loss according to this price right now. But for the long term, you can see that it's actual depth. It's very, very cheap. And look at where it went. It's not a joke. It did go in 2024 when it came. Yeah. That's for the long term. You can expect to keep some money in it and not look at it and keep accumulating. Which once the market changes and we go into the bulls, then we can just expect it to keep performing a lot. So let's see, we have like 10 minutes and let's go with your questions. So if you have questions, turn on your mic. Guys, if you don't have any questions, you can just let me know in the chat, or I'll give you 1 more minute. Then we'll be closing today's session. Okay, one thing I have forgotten, since you're gonna bring me your question. Before that, I'm going to go through this chart, the liquidation heat map. So for now, the risk is around 89,000, which for Bitcoin, if we see it in the chart, if we see a manipulation, it can make a wick to 89,000. And if you see, we already went there. If it goes again, then we can expect it to go right here, touch this trend line, then make a bounce. So this is for the longs to be liquidated, then the market will go up. Why am I saying it? Because we have more to get liquidated at the top. So these short traders that they keep shorting this 94,000 level for quite some time, they're all going to get absolutely liquidated because they're all gambling and going against the market move. So that's what we can expect. Yeah, there is a little bit of more liquidity building toward the downside, which can take us to 86,000. I have talked about this as well, but let's see if this is going to change the market structure, because if we go to 86, it's the end of this level of demand that we have. And this will put us back into a short-term bear market, and we can expect 70K, 69K, lower than that if it gets broken. But what we don't want is that to get broken. So if the price comes down to this level and go back and hold, we're gonna invest at those points instead of fearing. But on coin Ank chart, you can see that we have liquidations around 89, which is extended to 88. So 3 different views, but for now, the way the chart is telling me, according to everything I just saw, we can expect 86,000 the least at the moment. But don't take my word, do your own research. Maybe I might not see something and you will see. Yes, you raised your hand. Please ask me your question. Unmute yourself. Brother, it's not British accent. It's an American kind of accent. I don't know what it is. It doesn't matter, but I try to explain it in English the way I can. You are a Pakistani, I understand, but if you don't know English, which is the main language we're using, we're targeting all the majority of Muslim English speakers at the moment. We're gonna have sessions in Urdu, inshallah, with Aban, which is our Indian instructor. You can join those Urdu or Hindi lessons, which is basically the same thing written in different way. You can learn from there. I myself personally can speak Urdu, but it's not sufficient for the market analysis because it's easier for me and it takes lesser time to explain it in English. More questions? We have 5 minutes left. If there aren't any, then we can just go. By the way, something to tell you guys, there is going to be our first module, inshallah, getting released on YouTube very soon, which is the premium module inside Halal Portfolio Premium. This will be available for the entire world to actually learn from us. So make sure you are subscribed to our YouTube channel as well. And the links for the upcoming webinar, which we're going to do on 31st January, will also be in the description. And if you are part of the community, you will see it in the community event section as well on WhatsApp. If you have any question regarding premium as well, you can ask me. That's it. Okay, I'll join the sessions with Awan. Okay, bro, no problem, as you wish. Once you do that, you will get notified inside the community. Okay, thank you guys. If you think we're doing such a good thing, explaining the crypto market, investing in crypto, believing in this technology, and bringing a lot of value to Muslims globally, then make sure to like these videos so it reaches to more people. We actually have no plan absolutely to earn from YouTube because we think that it's not Sharia compliant. because of the way the ads are there. So we're not gonna do that, but what you can do this so it reaches to more people. And if you find value and if you think we will provide you with more value and the premium, then make sure to join that to actually learn from our mentorship and from our experience. Have a good time for now. Inshallah, I'll see you soon in the next weekly analysis. Allah Hafiz.